Oh, there it is. It's up now.
He's talking.
What is going on, gamers? It's Wednesday at 9 Eastern, and the RGH podcast is live. Kackis, True Vanguard, are you ready to talk about gaming today?
Oh, we are absolutely ready, gamer, because it's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. That means it's time for the real gamer hour.
Exactly. You see, we keep forgetting to talk about that, like when we actually stream, and people keep asking, when do you actually stream? So we're going to repeat it all night long.
It'll be on the show now, yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. So we have some interesting little topics today. We're going to be talking about Twitch deleting everyone's content, like platform wide. We're going to talk about...
Again, huge shout out to Twitch for with endless content in terms of like screw ups on their part.
Right? They just don't stop, do they?
No, they
Thank
don't.
God.
We got AOC on Twitter. Bungie goes after cheaters, goes absolutely ham. Thank God, finally. Genshin taking advantage of creators, and Godfall finally gets a win? Question mark. Are we going to say something positive about Godfall later? Maybe.
We're gonna try.
Maybe.
We'll give it a shot.
So let's start with Twitch. What did they do now, and why is it annoying? Actually, I know the answer to that because I got one of the emails. They did a big DMCA sweep. So if you don't know what that is, that's kind of copyright claimed clips, videos, past streams where any copyright music was played. But it could also be stuff where they had already muted it and you've been flagged months and months ago. In my case, I had deleted tons and tons of clips already trying to avoid this, and I still got a message saying, hey, yeah, we found a clip that's got some copyright music. We deleted it, but if it happens again, you're in trouble. So at this point, I think I'm at the point where, they deleted a lot of stuff for me, but I assume I should just delete all my old clips. But
well, first of all, Mike, me and True Vanguard are apparently really, really quiet and no one can hear us. So let's jack that audio up.
Testies 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we're testing again, gamers.
I mean, it looks exactly the same on my
This is classic, streamer stuff where it just doesn't work randomly for literally no reason.
Out of the blue. It's like, I just don't feel like cooperating today.
Sorry, you can't.
Can you all hear us okay now, though?
They're quiet?
Yep.
I mean, I can crank you guys up.
That's according to the chat. Now,
I mean, I might as well fix it.
I'm just going to start talking and we'll see what happens. So this is kind of an interesting thing because YouTube went through this exact same thing not that long, actually long ago, but a couple years ago, YouTube went through this. YouTube and YouTube creators had these same DMCA issues. And the thing is, like, everyone kind of knew that this was coming to Twitch, but like everyone, and especially Twitch, just pretended, like, just ignored it. Like what you could see this issue coming.
Yeah.
And everyone was just, had to deal with it.
And it's a scary thing because Twitch is notoriously bad at preparing its creators for bad news or quantifying and qualifying that bad news. So it's really challenging as a creator on that platform to know what you've done wrong and how to fix it. And so when you get this email out of the blue, especially if you're a creator who's like really on the grind, maybe you just made some good strides, maybe you just hit a milestone, just got partnered, and then suddenly you get hit with one of these things. It can be a really scary thing. You're like, oh no, what does this mean? What's on the line for me? And there's really not a lot of de-escalation on their part. There was no pre-warning like, hey, you guys, just a blast to all of our creators out there. There's some stuff going on DMC related behind the scenes, and there may be a wave of emails that come out. This is what it means. Don't panic. Here's what you need to do. Just anything to prepare people for that. But when it comes out of the blue, just this random left hook, man, it's a real challenge for creators. It can be a scary thing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
But again, like, this wasn't it's not like this came out of absolutely nowhere. I saw a funny tweet from someone that's like, Twitch streamers plays copyright content, gets copyright struck, and it's a surprise Pikachu face where it's like, but the thing is, the creators have always just been streaming and playing it, and there's been no issues. And then like this is more on Twitch just pretending that this wasn't an issue. They're just like, well, we'll see what happens. And then now they're like under massive legal pressure, and now they're like taking these very aggressive steps. And this is just like the worst approach. Like, instead of warning people, instead of telling people years ago, hey, cool it with the copyright stuff, instead, it's probably a smart idea to find people that you vibe with that have copyright-free music. They didn't do any of this. They were just like, we'll cross this bridge when we come to it. And then this is them crossing the bridge, which is deleting everyone's content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is always like
people are mass deleting all their VODs. Like, they're gone.
That's what I'm probably going to do because I don't even know which ones they are. It could be from like 5 years ago.
Right.
Like some random clip. And the other thing too is like some games, like they use copyright music in like the video, like in the movie or the like the cutscenes or in the radio of the car in the final credits, right? Final Fantasy has, the song by Florence and Machine or Florence and whatever. Yeah. And like that song will get nabbed just like that and muted, and it's like, so I can't play a game, I can't have the cinematic experience, I can't have the the intended emotions of that game because there's a copyright song in it. Screw that. That's a joke.
Yeah. I remember when a lot of GTA players ran into that issue because GTA Online has like all these different radio stations. They're jamming to Phil Collins while you're flying a helicopter. Suddenly you get DMCA'd. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, because a lot of people are like, well, just, you should know by now, just don't don't play copyrighted music on your stream. Sometimes it's like it's unavoidable, it's stuff you didn't see coming. Or, and this is another thing I've seen content creators get blasted by this before. It's kind of a funny situation. A lot of content creators will do Spotify playlists. Spotify has a lot of copyright free music, right? And so there's a couple of scenarios here. They'll be playing a copyright free playlist, but then suddenly one day, one of the artists on that playlist might decide that one of their tracks is going to go through the copyright process. Bam. Now, suddenly a track that you have been using for maybe 6 months in your playlist is now suddenly copyrighted, and then back, all the way back 6 months, it's getting flagged now. And so you had done everything right, but now you're retroactively getting punished for something that was fine back then, but is now no longer. Another issue that people have had with Spotify is it auto plays when it gets to the end of a playlist. It'll be like, well, we're just going to keep playing music that's sort of the same genre, and it'll just move on to copyrighted music. And so if you don't have that setting turned off, some content creators have been hit by that too.
Well, a lot of the copyright free stuff is like chill step. And so like I'm not gonna hear a difference. Like, okay, that piano key was a little different. Like, oh, that's not in this playlist of 600 copyright free songs. Like, you're never gonna know that.
It's also a question of there's a larger question here where is copyright law too intense? Like, it was started when all this stuff was just coming out, and everyone was downloading everything on LimeWire and getting 45 viruses on their mom's computer, right? And, that's where it started. But right now is kind of an interesting thing, because it's yeah, all right, I'm streaming and I'm playing a copyright song.
Right.
Is that taking away from the artist's revenue at all? And I honestly think you could make the argument no. In fact, it's only ever going to be neutral or positive, because then people are going to go and get that song.
Yeah, that's right.
They're there watching you play a game. They're no one, unless you're streaming and it's blank and you're not adding anything and it's just playing music and as a way to get around getting a Spotify, membership. Unless you're doing that, again, it doesn't hurt artists at all. And so these overzealous companies, I think honestly, Twitch could challenge this. They just don't want to, because it's not worth their time.
If only they were connected with a company that owns some record labels and had access to a huge database of music. If only, maybe someone like Amazon or something. I don't know. That'd be cool.
That's actually think about how crazy that is. Amazon owns Twitch and they have unlimited money and unlimited resources, and they just keep letting this crap slide. Do they care? Or is Jeff Bezos just out to lunch, bro? He doesn't care about these companies. He doesn't even know he owns Twitch, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy, because it's right there. They've got that access to the funds. They've got, there's Amazon Music and TV and all this stuff. It's gonna be like The Boys season 4 comes out, and it's oh, copyright claim because the trailer played, and it's bro, what are you doing?
They did. Oh my gosh. And again, but like we talked about earlier, the problem is that they waited until the last minute, and now, like you said, it's they don't tell you. Think about this: you're a creator, maybe you even stopped using copyright music, but like TV said, maybe in a game it played whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you have copyright stuff. They don't even tell you where it is.
They just said, so we deleted it. It's okay, well then how, when was this about? Was it 4 years ago? And then exactly. I think I'm good. I don't know.
You have no idea. So there's just mass panic and confusion where it's yeah, it's you're going to get sued by Sony unless you delete it, but we're not going to tell you where it is. You're oh!
Just deleting everything. I don't care, throw it out.
Dude, and that's the sad reality is people are just mass deleting all their, their life's work. They're just mass deleting it, right? And including stuff that isn't infringing anything. They're just scared and they're just deleting it.
And that's some of those clips are the reason why some people blow up. The clip of Tfue beating Ninja in a 1v1. That's probably the reason Tfue blew up so much in Fortnite. He's amazing, absolutely. But that clip getting shared, and it's oh, but he had copyright music. Can't have that clip that has millions of views, right? Yeah. The clip seen around the world in the Fortnite community wouldn't exist because a bit of a song played, because an ad played at the beginning of a YouTube video or something, in his playlist.
And that's bad for Twitch. That's why Twitch needs to actually try to stand up. Twitch has, again, unlimited funding. We're unlimited.
Yeah.
They're like, if they actually use some of their resources and use some of their lawyers and kind of challenge this, they could really improve the platform. But they never do because it's Twitch, and they provide us with content every week because they have absolute morons running the show. I love it, dude.
Makes it easy for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other news in Twitch, AOC, Alexandria
Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah, so if you don't know who she is,
you got it, Tash.
she
I'm a
streamed on
Canadian,
Twitch.
whatever, bro.
She streamed on Twitch. She had 400,000 viewers playing Among Us, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know who she is,
Congresswoman, right?
Yep. She's a member of
She
Congress.
played with another
Representative
member of
from
Congress.
New York. She
Yeah.
played with a rep from Minnesota. And yeah, they're just having fun playing Among Us. Played with like Dr. Lupo and whatnot. It's crazy though, because we're starting to see this crossover where people from other places, people of influence in other communities, starting to branch out and come over and do some streaming, getting involved in gaming and connecting with the gaming community.
And
It,
look,
it sure is interesting.
This is a good thing. Regardless, like, you don't even need to get political at all. You can just say, look, this is someone who's very well known, right? This is, a quote unquote famous person. Then a lot of people know her who don't know anything about gaming, right? They don't know anything about gaming. So they are introduced to gaming via, like, anytime something like this happens, I'm always happy, because the worst thing, and I'm sure you guys know, even if you would disagree with her stance politically, how annoying is it that, like, everyone throws gamers under the bus, like, constantly, right? It's
Mhm.
like, you see those tweets that get out there. It's like, gaming is such a waste of time. And, you try to explain to your parents that, like, you guys watching 5 hours of TV is worse than me playing games for 2 hours. Like, what are you guys doing, right? So when stuff like this happens and it introduces gaming to an audience that doesn't usually game, and they see everyone just having fun, they're like, oh, this looks fun. Like, I'm not gonna crap on my son for having fun in a video game. Because, like, that's what I had to go through growing up, is like, it was like video games are
Sure.
the devil and they're such a waste of time, right? And I'm successful because I exactly didn't listen to that, thank gosh. But, like, so expanding that audience is nothing but good.
Yeah, agreed. And when there's more mainstream coverage on it, Drake and Ninja, all these different things, it's also good for I think competition in the industry. I think it's good for getting eyes on it. I think it's good for companies that are like, afraid to advertise on YouTube and afraid to advertise on Twitch because they're like, oh, it's those gamers. Like, I don't know. It opens their eyes to it. And so these big companies like Ford come in and they're like, all right, who wants a truck? Like,
True.
It opens things up, and maybe some of these companies start hosting an event because they realize, oh man, Among Us is huge, and maybe they sponsor a tournament, maybe they help promote it, and I think it's just a win long term for everything. But it kind of, as you said, I think another one is even just like the policies and the way things are looked at when you make the gaming mainstream. It's not so much like, what's funny is I can't even talk about it because we'll get demonetized, but they blame a lot of heinous acts, let's just call it heinous acts, on gamers all the time. It's like, oh, that guy's violent because of games. And it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Games are awesome. We just had a bunch of laughs. We're having a great time. We're making friendships. I mean, maybe not in Among Us, because if you get backstabbed enough, right? But
yeah, dude. I can't play with Mr. Fruit ever again. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you've ruined one video and all of a sudden you're enemies.
Oh, I have provided enough content to make several others. All right, let me
okay, fair enough.
All right. But that's a good point too. Like, and people don't understand, again, like, people are gonna, you don't need to get super negative. This is a very well-known person playing a game that is good for gaming, like, pretty much period. Because like Mtashed mentioned, you'd be surprised, guys, like how many companies like still view gaming negatively and don't do like big sponsorships with gamers. They view gaming and the online space as like super crappy. But like, they shouldn't. Like, these big, like you mentioned, Ford and Mercedes-Benz, like, dude, Mercedes-Benz could probably drive so much eyes on their product if they did more sponsorships and stuff like with creators, but they don't, because they view it as like a bad space. It's weird. It's very bizarre, but it's true. And so it adds more legitimacy to the platform. But how funny would it be if AOC starts streaming and then she gets DMCA, she gets banned because she accidentally played a little song or something.
Right.
Like that would be actually hilarious, dude. Maybe something would get done if that happened.
That's right. Maybe stir the pot a little bit. Force
Yeah,
them
that
to
would,
take some
can
action.
you imagine? Oh man, that'd be great.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I've seen there's so many people of influence in other circles that have come over and streamed on Twitch. And I just think it's cool. And I mean, I couldn't tell you a single T-Pain song other than I'm on a boat, from SNL. But that's it. But I think it's cool. I see T-Pain over on Twitch sometimes. I'm like, yo, this freaking T-Pain.
Yeah,
That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like it's so cool because it's people of influence who are bringing people from their audience, and I have seen people make the counterpoint like, nah, they're not bringing anybody new. It's just taking viewers that are already on the platform away from other content creators. Now, here's a whole different topic.
I was just gonna bring that up.
I have seen content creators on these platforms like Twitch get upset when people of influence come over and detract from their audience. They feel like, hey man, stay in your lane, bro. I'm over here. I've been grinding day after day after day after day after day. And then you just come in, T-Pain, AOC, whoever you may be. You just come over here, Drake, and hit the live button, and everybody just runs over to your content. And it's like, man, I've been planning this stream. I've been planning this stream and looking forward to the stream for a week and a half now. I had everything lined up what I was going to do and how I was going to be entertaining. And half my audience is gone. I have seen people say that.
Okay, Timmy Sniper with 2 viewers. Like, oh no, they're watching Drake instead of you. Like, oh no. But it is big people too, though. There are a lot of people complaining.
It's not just AOC. Like, this is anytime, like T-Pain, anytime a famous person comes and goes on Twitch or whatever platform, and then arguably gets preferential treatment, where it's like you've never streamed before and now you're partnered, right? And also we're promoting you, and like and a lot of people do get very bitter by that. They see that and they're like, well, yeah, like TV said, I've been grinding and I don't get promoted and I'm still not partnered. Like, what the heck, right?
Right.
And I understand that. At the end of the day, I mean, I get that sentiment, but at the end of the day, here's where I see it. Twitch is a company. Twitch wants to make money. Twitch wants to capitalize on every opportunity that comes their way. They would be stupid not to immediately partner someone who's going to come over and pull 100,000, 400,000 viewers. They would be stupid not to capitalize on an opportunity like that. They would be absolutely no. So I have no love lost there. And that's coming from somebody who used to be a creator on that platform that grinded my butt off to get my partnership. I know what that process is like. I know what grind that is. But I had to prove to them that I was a person of influence. I had to prove to them that I was a person worthy of having a partnership status, that I could be valuable to them. I had to prove that. Now, these people that come in, they have already proven that they are people of influence, people of success, people with a following, people who influence people who have pocketbooks and are willing to throw money at it. They've already proven that. So there's no love lost there from me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, completely agree. They built their brand and they're using that brand. And like, if you have a really big YouTube channel, you can skip the partnership program with Twitch. Like, you can literally with your application, there's ways to like skip ahead and be like, listen, I'm coming over, partner me. Like, you can absolutely do that with multiple platforms, right?
I think pretty much everyone realizes, like, it's like, obviously, if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wanted to start streaming, right? They'd partner him and they'd set up a big thing and it'd be promotion and whatever, right? Like, they're not going to not partner Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, right? Like, get out of here. Like, everyone knows that. But I think this kind of argument comes up because they make it so crappy on Twitch to get discovered. Like, you just grind and hope. Like, that's all you got. Like, grind and hope. Like, at least YouTube has a search feature. And often you can make videos that coincide with content, so you can like come up in the discovery feed and stuff like that. Like, Twitch has like no one scrolls down, right?
Right.
There's not really a huge incentive to scroll down to the guy with like 14 viewers, unless I will say for Destiny, that's one of the big like secrets. Like, dude, if you guys want to go flawless, instead of complaining that you can't get a team on Twitter, go down to the guy with 10 viewers who's cracked out of his mind and just join that guy, dude. You're gonna get into his team because he has 10 viewers.
Make sure he's not cheating before you do it, though.
True. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. But like, honestly, I'm like, that is something that but like, there's nothing to promote that. That's kind of like almost like a secret, dude. Like, people will be like, I can't get a team. Like, it's impossible. It's like, dude, this guy with 5 viewers streaming off his PlayStation is cracked out of his mind. He will get you there, but like no one's gonna discover him because there's no. Yeah.
And I mean that goes to another thing is like, is the only way to get discovered on Twitch to be providing a service? You're either the funniest, you're the best in the game, you're like
but you have none
drama,
of those things, Tash,
or you're providing a service.
Or you latch onto a person of success on the platform.
Yeah, fair.
That's Tash.
No, me? People vicariously gamble on Genshin through me. I'm a whale.
Yeah,
I'm a
exactly,
Leviathan.
This man, you want to know whose fault it is for microtransactions? This man's Tash over here. Yeah, $4,000, dude.
All right,
we'll talk about that in a sec.
All right, so we gotta talk about the Twitch cheaters. We gotta talk about Perfect Aim getting cease and desisted. They got legal trouble. Bungie said, "Hey guys, could you stop making thousands of cheat programs for Destiny 2, please?" And they cease and desisted them.
Like people went on their website and one day and just there was like a notification. Yeah, like, hey, Bungie sent us a cease and desist. You can't buy our product anymore. And
I want a refund.
Yeah, the
you probably do.
So it's like these dang YouTubers' fault, and it's like
they ruined it.
I was getting better at the game. It's like, yeah, no crowd, because you literally
I almost choked
onto anyone's heads, you moron. Like, there's literally people saying like it's a great way to like learn the game, and I'm like, dude, these guys have convinced themselves that they're not just scummy, complete losers who like need some sort of actual like program, and it's like, why do you guys always use it in PvP too? It's like, why are you always in trials? Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah, if you need aim that bad, take out a drag or two. Like, you know, maybe you want to beat that raid, but like, you're not. You're coming and stream sniping me and ruining my stream because you guys are jerks, making their name cheater and teleporting through walls.
Just leaning into it full send. Yeah.
I can't believe that some of the stuff wasn't banned so much quicker though. Like, there's people flying, reviving, walking through walls. It's like, how is nothing detecting this? Like, it is
right.
It is insanity.
That's the question.
And like we're looking at like snipers like fully automatic, like a Gatling gun. Like they're laying 4,000 rounds per minute, and it's like, yeah, no, that seems about right. That should be normal. But
yeah,
now it's shut down, right?
Someone in the chat said, "quote We were the ones that kept Crucible alive." Like, I hope if that's an actual comment, like, holy crap, dude!
Is it? If someone actually said that, you killed the Crucible. You're the one that ruined it,
dude. Oh, like, but gosh. This is great, and potentially we were saying prior to the stream, like maybe Bungie sent this to like their home address, like found out who actually is running the website, because you do have to register like website, especially if you're selling it and stuff. You have this information. Maybe they sent it to the actual person and said, "Dear, John Smith, whoever it is, stop, or we're gonna like sue the crap out of you." And that's why they panicked and were like, "Oh, okay, we're done." And
so there's the new DLC, Beyond Light, is gonna require a full re-download of Destiny. Now I'm wondering, would there maybe be something in place there with it's a new update, it's gonna be a new build of the game, so people that have Perfect Aim right now, apparently it still works. But if there's this new build of the game going out and they've changed integer here and integer there, does that maybe break Perfect Aim, and without any patches, maybe it's gone? That's my hope. That's my prayer. I'm really hoping.
Here's the thing. I see this, honestly, I see this as a Band-Aid. And I mean, there's a few things that we could talk about as we hit this topic. One of the things you mentioned is that we don't know about what this new build is going to look like and if that's going to derail anything. I think that's best. I think that if they have new systems in place, anti-cheat systems that they have already refined, they have ready to go, ready to ship, my preference would be don't talk about it. Don't even say we've got it. I mean, you already know you're going to sell copies of Beyond Light. Don't even use it as a selling point. Keep that close to the chest. And when that content drops on the 10th, you say, by the way, bam. That way,
Get out of here.
Anyone who's, they don't have any time to react to that information ahead of time and say, okay, well, we can expect that there's a new build that we need to prep for if we're going to make a new cheat system for it. You know what I mean? Play it close to the chest. Drop that news on us when the content comes out. That's one thing I would say. If they've got anti-cheat ready to go, don't say anything. The next thing I would say, I see this as a band-aid. I don't think that this is going to stop cheating. Obviously, there are other websites out there selling different cheats. This wasn't the only one. Sure, this is a huge one, and this is really helpful for the time being. But these are scummy people. I mean, I'm just gonna say it as these are crappy people, crappy human beings who put this product out there. They're just crappy people. I would expect crappy people to continue to be crappy people, even after they get a cease and desist. They would be. I would expect them to say, "Oh man, we made a lot of money. I would like to continue to make a lot of money off of this thing that we made. Let's rebrand, make a new website. Let's sell the product again under a different name." I don't know. I think what it's really going to take is they need, and this is the thing, it's expensive and it's not fast, but they need to go after somebody. If they got a clear-cut case, they need to say, listen, we're just going to drop the capital, we're going to drop the money, we're going to pursue legal action against these people, and we're just going to crucify them. And they're never going to, I mean, we're going to cripple them in debt, baby. And we're only going to do it to make an example out of them and say, listen, if you're going to make cheats for our game, this could happen to you.
Yeah. I wonder
that's what they do. That's what they do sometimes with like people who I remember like when they would copyright, they would like film in a movie theater, like, and it would or burn DVDs. Just a couple of people, they actually went after them and were like sued them for like $400,000 and got it, and it scared a lot of people off. Like it didn't stop it obviously, but certainly with this, like that is a strategy. Like especially since you're breaking the term of service if you are cheating. Like imagine this guy he has like makes 17 accounts and cheats all the time. They just find out who it is, they go after him, they sue him. Oh dude, and then just like completely, that would scare so many cheaters away. Yeah, like this is, Joe Schmuck, we're suing him for $400,000. Suck it, cheaters.
And we're gonna win.
This could be you.
Yeah.
One thing I wonder is, do you think maybe it's taken so long to address the cheating and even shut down because they're reverse engineering it? So they're looking at the cheats. Someone at Bungie downloads Perfect Aim and is playing with it, and he's reverse engineering, figuring out how the hell does this work in our code? How the hell is this, picking up the pixels? How the hell is this working so that they can stop it? Because it's a long time. They can send a letter whenever the hell they want. Do you think maybe they left it up because they're like, all right, we got to figure out what the hell this is doing and figure out how to stop it? And now they know. I'm wondering, maybe they know, and they're like, all right, now we don't need you. Shut it down, get it out, but we figured it out. I'd love to know. I would love to know if they've created an anti-cheat or
the interesting
something.
thing is, speaking to that, they did it in the right way, right? Like, what you got to do is you got to go after the people who make the cheats first, and then fix your game, right? Because if they did in the opposite order, Beyond Light comes out, they have changed stuff, so now Perfect Aim does not work, right? Guess who's gonna make a new version of Perfect Aim? The guys, right? They're just gonna make a new version that does work. So if you do it in the opposite order, right? You can't buy Perfect Aim anymore because they sent the cease and desist. They figured out who those people are. Again, they didn't like send to Perfect Aim, right? I guarantee they sent it to the actual human beings that make it, right? And so they're obviously going after them, right? And then they should also go after the actual cheaters, but like this should be both, not one or the other. But then Beyond Light comes out, and as you guys speculated, we're getting a whole new download. This is a whole, like, they changed some internals of this game. So even just randomly, hypothetically, right, they could, just by they're not even necessarily going after Perfect Aim, it just doesn't work anymore in this new environment. And so all the Perfect Games don't work because you've changed the architecture of the game, and now you can't buy the new one. They've disabled, like, then that's a big hit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's is there any other big cheating programs like that? Like, I know Perfect Game, everyone talks about it, but is that the one? Or is there other ones?
It's the main one.
Yeah.
I think they're probably
I don't think they've done Ring 1 yet, though. Not to my knowledge. I feel like we would have heard about that.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. It sounds like a Halo term, Ring 1. Right? Maybe it is. I don't know. But I mean, I'm really curious to see because I mean, Beyond Light does look good. I don't want it to be plagued with cheaters. The world first raid race. I mean, that's a big coveted thing. If some people are just whisper the word, Gatling gunning all the bosses down, I think we're gonna have some problems. But
Oh man,
I mean,
that is a big one because like Bungie said that they are gonna take extra time to verify the results. But it's like there's the concept of like, oh, you have the cheater team, and they're not going for world first. They're just going to cause havoc, and they feed all the information to the B team that's not cheating. So that's
Right.
sus as well.
and then everyone, if Dado's on a boss for 3 hours and then finally beats it, everyone's like, oh my god, what's the next room? What's the next thing? These cheaters are just gonna walk through the whole raid and like figure everything out and beat it, and it's like, okay, well, I guess the final boss is this thing. And it takes away a lot of that magic.
Yeah, all the integrity of it is just gone for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So let's move on.
It sucks, but now the PC players are gonna feel like the console players. Your
Oh.
first don't matter, baby.
Okay. Hey, listen.
Had to bring it up.
That's why we went on vacation. I heard about your crazy raid stats, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this guy alone. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. Dude, you kept asking. We were sitting there drinking White Claws, having a good time, and suddenly you're like, "So, all right. So, if you're doing this encounter, I go, what kind of DPS are you looking for?" I'm like, "Why is this guy bringing this up? He's milking me for info."
No. I just wanted to hear how amazing he was at console Destiny. He's like,
Oh,
back in my day when I was just a young and making
my
content, I beat the raid. I beat the raid.
Mobile game.
Hey!
Making his name in a mobile game.
Come
right
on.
now, buddy.
Listen, just because I got more views in 1 hour than you got all week
Oh.
doesn't mean that you can
I'm just
roast
taking it
me.
Yeah,
Hey,
I kinda
come
hate
on.
that he's right though. Honestly,
Listen, if I was gonna take Kackis out to a remote place for vacation, before I did that, the only thing I'd want to know is what his average completion time is
Hey.
of garden. That's
Hey.
that's what I was talking
Okay.
about.
Hey.
Speaking of completion time, you only get to play about 5 minutes of Genshin a day, but that's
Well,
not
hold on,
that's not the big drama.
Hold on.
What?
Speaking of time,
What? Oh,
you got to make the most of your time in game, and therefore you want to be energized.
you're right. And so, if that's the case, you need Advanced. Advanced.gg.
GG.
That's our sponsor. Advanced.gg makes incredible products. They just came with a huge restock. We got the brand new grape flavor, mango splash, cherry limeade. There's a ton of great flavors, and you can get 10% off with code RGH. That's our name. Use code RGH for 10% off at advanced.gg right this second, and then we can hopefully get Kackis a haircut so he doesn't look like a dirty homeless person. It'll be incredible.
You know what? I wasn't gonna say anything, but if you use code KHD30, you get 30% off right now until Saturday.
Bro,
And
you're
that only goes to me and not Mtashed, who's just talking trash right now. So
You're sabotaging the podcast right now, and me and Ryan are gonna have to have a meeting with you after this.
You know what? You know what? Worth it, dude. You're swimming in that Genshin money. Ryan's too drunk to know what's going on.
Oh,
Give it to
that
me.
happened?
KHD
What did I
30,
even
baby.
do?
Yeah,
The
what
only
the
thing I did
hell?
This whole podcast was hit on you. What did I
Oh.
do?
This is
Oh,
why I
this is
interrupt you all
brutal.
the time, Ryan. Because these, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Hey, that was the most forced ad of all time, but we made it through, baby. But you know what? Advanced GG is the OG. They sponsored us before we even existed, so they fund like a lot of the stuff that's going on here.
Yep.
You gotta love them.
We gotta edit. We gotta do all sorts of different things. We had to do all these crazy overlays and all that, and Vance had our back. Now, who doesn't have our back is the Genshin creators, MiHoYo, because they just said, "Hey, everybody, we would love some streamers with 100 concurrent viewers to stream for I don't know what's a good amount, 25 hours a week, and we'll give you in-game
A month?
stuff."
A month or
A
a
month.
week?
Is it a
I
month?
just want to clarify.
Oh,
it's a
sorry.
month.
Oh, I
Just
thought
wanna
it was,
clarify
oh, I
that.
thought it was a week.
I was
Okay.
like, oh my
Yeah,
god!
But they
dude.
also said you got to make 4 videos a month. Like, they have a lot of requirements to be in this content creator program, and
What are they going to pay you for that, though?
nothing in in-game currency. But they're like, but they also said, also Just a note, no one talk about how many gems we're giving you. Like, no one discuss this. We don't want to be talking about it. It's like, wait a second. Are you giving like some people more than others, depending how many viewers they have? Or is the number so low that it's embarrassing and you don't want anyone to find out? Because I have a feeling that's what it is. I mean,
Dude,
in-game
is-
items for being a dedicated content creator.
Yeah, let me put this into perspective for people because a lot of people aren't in the business of making content; they're in the business of absorbing it. Let me just put this into perspective for you: 100 concurrent viewers. There are people on Twitch who have a pretty dedicated audience who have been live streaming consistently, weekly, 5 streams a week, on top of having a full-time job for 2 years, and are just now starting to see those numbers. I mean, that's pretty realistic. Honestly, it takes a long time as a live streamer on Twitch to build up 100 concurrent viewer average. Now, you're going to transition to making content for a new game. You know how many people follow you when you go to a new game? If you want to be a part of this program, I mean, maybe half of your audience will be like, I'm willing to watch you play the Genshin if you're going to go do that. But your carryover percentage is really not good if you're going to switch games, so unless you were already branded as a variety streamer. So to have 100 concurrent viewers average streaming a new game is pretty freaking unapproachable. Those are some like really established streamer numbers.
Now let's.
So if
I'm gonna get comments for interrupting you, but I gotta interrupt you. All right, because before you continue your point, it's important to note that there are other creator programs that exist. Epic Games comes to mind, and Activision has just started doing one pretty recently as well. And both of those, TV is making some excellent points about these requirements that are quite big for a lot of people to fill. Both of those, you literally like apply for the program or whatever, but you enter a code when you're purchasing something, and then that creator gets a cut, actual money from your purchase. They get a certain percent.
Yeah.
And people love those. And you know, it makes you feel valued and safe as a content creator in those games. You end up promoting the game more just naturally, right? And for people playing the game, it's like, well, listen, hey, Rick Kackis or Mtashed or True Vanguard, they were the reason I started playing this game. I want to give a little bit back because I love this game, right? So there are existing great creator programs, but Genshin's like, no, Genshin's got their own ideas, baby.
Well, and with the Fortnite people, like when a new Fortnite skin came out, like there's creators that are making thousands of dollars on their little 5% cut. The big guys are making hundreds of thousands. I know for a fact. Some of the big ones like the Ninjas and the Lupos, we're not talking like a couple tens of thousands. We're talking hundreds of thousands. We're talking millions on a creator code. It might not seem possible, but even with just 5% of a whole bunch of little purchases, they make so much money off this. It's insanity. And with how much people are wishing in Genshin, bro, I could get a yacht. But instead,
if you could get a cut, if you could imagine that, if you could get a cut on Wishes, oh my gosh!
But that's the thing. They looked at these other creators and they're like, wow, these companies are like giving back to the creators that were partially responsible for making their game big. Like, you know, part of the reason Fortnite blew up is because all the creators started playing it and etc. Among Us, another great example. But like, Genshin was like, no, dude, we ain't giving you nothing, baby. We're gonna keep that money, and you can get some in-game items that we're not even. They don't even tell you. They're like,
here's
in-game
15
items.
Primogems.
Yeah, or some little gemmy gems. Here's some.
And the thing is with that is like, so yeah, if you get those gems and you can make content, and they're giving you, if they give you an astronomical amount that like I would have had to spend thousands, I spent thousands literally yesterday doing a stream getting this new character, right? And I didn't even get it maxed out. I didn't even get the weapon that I was hunting for, and I spent $2,000, right? So if they gave me an astronomical amount, I could see it being worth it because I could make that content.
Yeah.
But they're probably not going to do that because they want me to spend the money. But also, it's like, it is in-game currency. It would be like gambling with house money. They're giving you those characters. It doesn't cost them anything. The assets are made. The characters are coded. They already have that. So they're essentially saying, you can play more of our game and stream more of our game, but you're not getting anything tangible other than more Genshin. Like, I don't know. It's like they're
As the
looping you in.
content- yeah.
They're looping you in to play even more of it because you're
Yeah.
even heavier invested. Even if they're helping it out, it's like, well, I got all these 5-star characters. I can't just abandon them. You know, I don't know. It's weird. It feels like they're taking advantage of the content creators because even as you said, you got 100 concurrent viewers. One of the formulas that I've heard from a couple different ad agencies is $1 per concurrent viewer per hour. And that's like a reasonable amount. Some people might get more, some people might get less. But if you're putting 25 hours in a month times $100, right? Like that's a lot of eyes you're putting on this game,
Yeah.
and they're giving you zip. That seems
And full transparency. full
25
transparency
streaming
here.
hours.
yeah, streaming hours, 25 streaming hours.
Like you're
Yeah.
streaming, you're playing the game.
Yeah.
You're not just like working.
No, you gotta
every 8
stream
hours a
it.
day.
You gotta
You're
stream it.
I know you were purely streaming. That's it. It's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Those are work hours.
Go ahead, TV. Please talk.
Full transparency. There have been times where there are games out there that I'm interested in playing, but I won't do it because I know as a streamer and as a YouTuber, I'm going to lose viewership if I make content over a game that I'm not known for. That's just part of that just comes with it. That's part of the package of being a content creator. If you're going to branch out and do new stuff, you're going to take a hit first. And you're always doing this risk and reward. Is it worth it for me to do this in the long haul? Sometimes it's just a crapshoot. You don't know if it's gonna play out well or not. But I am much more likely to do it if a developer comes to me and says, "We would like to compensate you to make some content over our game." I'm very open to that because it helps offset the risk of what I'm gonna lose when I take my work hours that I could make X number of money that I know I'm gonna make doing Destiny content, right? It's going to offset what I lose and maybe even make me some more money. And that's helpful because this is a business, right? This is something that we do for work to provide for our families. We need to know that income is coming. I've had developers come to me before and say, "Listen, we'd like you to do 2 streams." And this is when I was even smaller. They're like, "We'd like you to do 2 streams and we'll pay you $1,000 to do just 2 streams, okay, on our game." As a content creator, I'm very open to that. I say, you know what? Great, because I was interested in trying your game out. Now I'm going to do it because I know that even if I lose my viewership, it's my time invested is going to be compensated. So if creators are out there thinking they wanted to do Genshin stuff, this to me is actually a red flag that says, no, now I'm less likely to cover your game because I feel like you don't really understand what a creator has to go through. There's a disconnect. I feel like you don't even know what my world is like if you're unwilling to compensate me in any way, shape, or form to come and make content for your game and you're making expectations like that. 25 hours, 25 work hours.
You're gonna be married to us. You're gonna be married to us for almost nothing, and we aren't gonna compensate you. You're gonna lose viewership, and if you say, "Do you know what? I can't make it this week. We're gonna kick you out." Are you kidding me? That's gross.
I know.
It's like an exclusive club no one wants to be in. Like,
That's the
okay,
thing.
see you later, bro. I don't care. I'm gonna
it
go play
legit-
RuneScape.
Yeah, facts, dude. It legit makes me question. Here's a really interesting question: who is this for? Because as TV pointed out, like, it certainly isn't going to attract people who aren't playing Genshin because keeping those numbers and then also having to be forced into 25 hours a month, even if they naturally end up doing it, just looking at those requirements is going to scare a lot of people off. And then it seems like it's the people who are already playing it that'll just like already stream nothing but Genshin, right? And they're just going to sign up because they're like, well, why not? I get rewards. There's no downside, but the rewards aren't big enough. Like it won't, like these streamers aren't going to like talk about, "Oh guys, today is reward day. I'm getting my like 60 gems or whatever." They're never going to mention it. Whereas like, imagine if you got like 100 free wishes and you're like,
Right.
and once a month, everyone's like, reward drop day. Like all the streamers are on like, this is the day we get 100 wishes. Let's go, baby. But like, again, it's like Genshin. Like
That's my
Y'all
wet
are-
dream.
y'all are making money. You're making money just off Mtashed, where
Ooh.
it's like,
But it's
just
true.
it's like you guys can afford to be a little bit more generous. And these combined with the resin issues, like Genshin could be not necessarily in trouble, but like the hype train is kind of already starting to slow down, and this isn't helping.
It's like Genshin to me feels like a supernova right now. Like it's like it came out of nowhere. It's like, bam, it's so bright, it's so crazy, everyone loves it, and then It just burned out. It burned out bright.
You ran out
It
of
came
resin,
on
dude.
strong, and then it's like, bam, done.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that was my experience. I cold turkeyed the game. I was having fun. I still think the game's really cool, really fun. And I think it has a bright future if some changes are made. But I ended up just hitting a wall. And I was like, for my time invested, there's really not a lot I'm going to get out of my experience with this game at this point. I'm kind of done for now.
Yeah. Shame, because it's a great game at its core.
It's just like there's the content wall with the resin. We talked about this last stream. We're not gonna get into it. And like I said in a video the other day that if you're starting Genshin Impact in 6 months with some of the the changes to different like ease of use things, or I don't know what to call it, like quality of life. Sorry, in 6 months, 9 months, all the quality of life, new characters, and multiple new regions. Right, it's probably gonna triple the content that's available now. The content's great. Like, you could probably spend, what would you say, if you played it really, really aggressively, hunting chests, doing all the quests, like 40 hours? More? Would you say?
I don't know, honestly.
Like, if you do all the quests and like, the main content, like, it's a free-to-play game. Right now, you could probably get a good 40 hours out of it.
Yeah, I'd say 40 to 50, yeah.
Yeah. And then
you will enjoy it.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're gonna get lost in it. But then if they add those new regions, like free to play players jumping into Genshin in a half a year, bro, that's gonna be one of the best games ever. Best free to play games, best mobile games ever. Right now, a little bit of growing pains. Right now, it got this crazy hype. Everyone's like fiending for it. They're trying to get that Genshin fix, but then they're like, oh, there is nothing. There's nothing else to satisfy us.
Yeah,
so
the box is empty. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of people falling off. You can already see it, and there's tensions getting pretty high.
Is Genshin blowing up, especially in the West, because there's nothing to do right now? And like, are you still going to be playing Genshin and farming a max of 20 minutes a day before your resin falls off? Or are you going to be playing Cyberpunk? Or are you going to be playing that new console with all these fancy new games? Like, I feel like it can't afford to be this greedy with stuff like that.
No, the Xbox Game Pass is coming. We've already talked about the value, right? People are going to move on just like that. Every time they get a little bit bored of the game, they're moving on. They got hundreds of options. So if you won't be able to stay, they got to have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with coming back later. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, right now, I haven't played Destiny in a month. I'm itching. There's new content. I'm so excited for Destiny. And, I think more people need to stop getting married to games. If you're not having fun with it, if there's nothing you're aspiring to do, go play something else for a bit. Still watch all of our videos. No ad block.
I view that as a personal attack against me, Tash. Excuse me.
Okay, you know what I mean, though. Like,
yeah.
It's just I feel like no game is supposed to be played 24/7 other than RuneScape, or the game of life. But
you know what? One of these new games that could be dragging people away is Godfall.
Oh, you don't say.
Dude, Godfall, who we have been making fun of constantly.
We're just memeing them.
Their marketing department is Randy's cousin in his basement.
Here,
that's it.
I'll do an impersonation of the marketing team. Ready?
Oh, because they're not there. Yeah, Godfall, like, sometimes I'm like, oh, this game really looks sweet. But they put out like a spear and a random scroll, and they don't give any information.
It's some terrible gameplay.
They famously put out literally like 10 seconds of gameplay at Gamescom. It was a Gamescom show. There's all these big trailers, and they're like, and here is Godfall. And it like zoomed in on this Mothman armor, and then the guy smacked a few guys, and it ended. That was it. It was like the weirdest thing.
It didn't say. It didn't even say like holiday 2020 or nothing. It was just like, oh, okay, like the Mothman.
It was so bizarre, dude. And but now finally, they're actually doing some stuff that makes sense. So they've partnered with, I think I should say, friend of the podcast. We've all met him and love him. My name is Bife, and he's doing a lore series. So I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job with that.
Now we'll know. Now we'll know about that spear. right?
Yeah.
We'll get some context on
Some
like
context
this
to the
world.
game, absolutely.
Yep.
That's a good idea. And especially since he has such a big Destiny audience, this is a looter slasher. You know, it runs in Destiny players' veins. They might get interested in it. But also, there's a tweet that IGN is also going to be previewing the loot tomorrow. And they released a screenshot of kind of the inventory screen. And I'm like, finally, dude. Like,
Yeah.
finally. But then the question is like, is this too late? It's, you know, October 21st, and we've got like 1, 2, 3 weeks, about a month, you know, maybe less than a month, until this all comes out. Until November 10th, until I think November 13th, just a few days later, it's coming out. And it's like, you may have missed your chance. Like, there was eyes on Gamescom when you did the dumb Mothman shit. There was eyes on all these other huge shows that you didn't capitalize on, and bringing Bife and getting his audience on is a great idea, but it's just Bife so far, right? It's very few and far between deals with content creators. So again, it's like, finally there's information coming out. This is good. This should be praised, but is it too little too late?
And I don't know.
My biggest red flag. Okay. My biggest red flag, honestly, is just that if it's taken this long for them to put something solid in front of, you know, their consumers, I know from being connected to the industry for a while now, I know that development is a long and slow process. And so I'm concerned because I feel like if they had something to show, I mean, these aren't people who are brand new to the industry. They should know. They need to show something to their audience, you know, well ahead of time and start ramping up excitement. My concern is, did they not have stuff ready? Was stuff not ready to be showcased? And if that's the case, I'm not ready to spend money on Godfall because I have been disappointed by too many games.
But they went gold.
That shipped badly.
Yes, but they went gold so fast. They were one of the first next-gen games to announce that they had gone gold.
Really?
Yeah. Before Cyberpunk.
I guess
But what
my
does that
biggest
build
issue.
look like? But
Yeah.
what does that build look like?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I played the Anthem Gold build when I was doing some of
That's
those
right.
when I was doing those like official reviews, and I was like, oh my god, this is the gold build. I couldn't believe it. Like I asked them because I was playing, and I was like, sorry, what build is this? They're like, that's the cert build. I was like, what? Like the certification build, like the gold build. And I was like, oh, like I couldn't believe it. And so I'm wondering, are we gonna get Godfall? And the biggest issue is always gonna be endgame. You know, you can build some systems, you can get some animations going, but like, have they fleshed out the endgame? Because every looter that is launched in the past 10 years has failed with endgame for the most part.
I also
economy, endgame, crafting, like there's always something that's missing.
The one that might not, baby. Outriders, baby.
Okay. We'll see about that.
Well, I kind of want to talk about that in a sec, but first, like what TV said was really interesting. Was like they gave it to like me and TV were sharing gameplay of Godfall. We were looked up because they gave it to like PlayStation Japan. We may have mentioned this, but the people they let play the game were trash. Like they literally, it was like 10 minutes of gameplay. 2 minutes was getting to the boss. 8 minutes was dying to the boss over and over again. They literally never made it past the boss. And it's like, bro, like send it to some creators who have some thumbs, like who can actually show off your game. Like, I don't know what they're thinking there. Like,
at least show the loot drop from that boss. Like, what are you doing?
To be fairness, and going right off this conversation, Outriders has actually been pretty good with actually deep diving. I think they've also showed off their loot more in depth, showed off some of their legendary loot. And for some reason, this game is getting like a weird amount of hate. And I think it's a lot of like meme stuff because people are like, oh, you're copying Destiny.
And it's third person, so like Anthem.
Yeah. And it doesn't look good. Like, it's not a pretty game like Destiny. It's kind of an ugly game. Like, I got it straight up. But I think they're going for that post-apocalyptic,
grungy, like
gritty look.
It's like the people who made Bulletstorm. Like, that's their thing. Like, that's their design. And some people love that, right? They don't want, like, you know, it's post-apocalyptic. It shouldn't be like everything's gorgeous, right? But, like, that game has been really good at sharing everything about it, letting people play it. And so I've seen, like, Godfall, there's a lot of confusion. Outriders, yeah, it gets memed on, but a lot of the time I also see people being like, no, this game actually looks sweet. And
At least you know what
also,
to expect.
you know what to expect. You know what you're getting into. We've played it and it's legitimately fun. Like, is it game of the year? We don't know. But I think most importantly, biggest win for Outriders compared to Godfall, Outriders is coming out in like January.
Yeah,
Right.
January, February, they said, right?
Right about
Yeah,
the time
and
you're gonna
it
be
could be
like,
February.
man,
And
that
Godfall
news
was
was
12?
crazy. What now? What?
I forget exactly when the date, but it's January, February, like 2021, early 2021. That is so smart, dude. Like, that is perfect. Right when you're bored of Beyond Light, potentially even before the next season hits, right? Godfall is smushing itself in with these leviathans. Like, good luck competing with Cyberpunk and established looters like Destiny. Like, these are, and Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed. Like,
They were gonna get Battleborn. They're gonna get Battleborn.
They're gonna get
just
yeah,
like
it's like-
Battleborn.
Yeah.
You'd
Who-
think they
like-
would learn the lesson, but they're like,
Yeah.
we believe in our game, and it's like, that's fine. That's super fine. But you gotta research. You gotta look at the market. You gotta look at the competition, and you gotta realize that this game that has no proving that it's good. There's no news on it. There's no info. There's been no marketing. You can't just like lump it in and be like, "Go, buddy!"
Yeah,
Like it's
you're gonna
like
take
a
the
good-
risk,
right?
to
It's
buy
like a
Godfall?
fat guy in a Shark Tank. Like, get to the other side, brother. Good chance.
Here's the reality
Yeah.
that so many of these developers have fallen short because they fail to recognize that a good product will not sell itself. That's just not
Yeah.
how it works. A good product is not going to go out there and go to bat for itself and sell itself. That's not how the world works. And we've seen too many good products die out because people believed in their product, but they didn't believe in spending the capital on proper marketing, timing of releases, and investing in creators and influencers to get that stuff in front of people. It just, a good product will not sell itself, period.
And you know what's funny though?
No, I have my hand
I
up.
would say super
No.
funny, super funny. You mentioned Battleborn, Tash.
Uh-huh.
You mentioned Battleborn.
Yeah.
This is Godfall. They're both Gearbox,
Right? I know. You'd think they'd
Speaking
know.
of Gearbox, there's a big update to Borderlands 3. It's coming out. They're adding Mayhem 11 November 10th. Like, are you guys stupid over there? Like, what do you, like, who's gonna, like a lot of people play both. They're both looters. A lot of people play Borderlands and Destiny. Why are you doing it on November 10th? You absolute papagas. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, dude.
Mike,
I know. So what I was gonna say is, one of the ones that frustrated me, and it's exactly on your point, is like a good game, even though it's a great product, it doesn't sell itself. There has to be some marketing. Someone has to get some eyes on it, and it was that Hades game. I've
sure.
been playing Hades like when it first launched. I'm playing it. I was on stream. No one's really caring, and I was like, "This game's incredible." I played so much Hades, and then fast forward 3 months, they launch, they do some marketing. Everyone's like, "Oh, what an amazing game!" And I'm like, "I know, like I literally know." And the same thing,
Yeah.
Undermine. I did a sponsored thing for it, and I played it, and I'm like, "Oh man, this is such a good little roguelike game." But like no one's streaming it, no one's really playing it. There's just not enough eyes on it. There's not enough, there just wasn't that marketing budget for some of these games. It's like they're going under the radar because they don't have the marketing budget. And then you've got friggin' Battleborn and Godfall. They probably have a cracked budget if Randy didn't steal the budget. And it's like they have the potential to get the eyes on it, and they're just like, the legendary spear, the legendary spear, and that's it. That's it. We're done.
Literally, dude. Oh my gosh.
Oh
dude.
man.
But that's why if you guys see, people put out videos on this stuff. Like, it's funny though. Like, we mentioned Outriders, but when me and you put out our Outriders videos, there's all these people being like, "What is this trash game? This isn't Destiny." It's like, dude, this is a new game and it's showing you what it's got. Like, you should be thrilled because you don't have to like it. You could look at it and be like, "This doesn't look like I would enjoy it."
but thanks
That's
for letting me
fine.
know.
Yeah, but you should still be like, "Wow, they're letting you showcase what the game is all about." Because the alternative is Godfall, where you just know about a spear that exists somewhere in the game
Yeah.
and a guy that looks like a moth. That's all you know. And it's like, dude, so stop disliking all those non-Destiny videos, you jerks. That's basically my point.
Yeah. Hey,
my like ratio.
but
Stop.
thanks for
Oh.
liking our podcast. Thanks for supporting us. We've been having some great success here. We love it. But I mean, I feel like the hour's up, and I want to start getting some juicy drama in the chat.
Yeah, we're not over.
Yeah,
Don't
it's not
think
over.
we're ending. We're not over. We're just getting started, gamers.
The podcast.
We love the after show. We get
The
to
podcast
interact
after
with y'all
show.
directly.
Yeah, this is the best
So what
part.
we're gonna do is we're gonna switch it into members only chat. So all those people, and Tash is gonna shout out some of the people who've been using super chat and becoming members. But all those people, they're gonna be able to still use the chat, ask us questions. You know, whatever you guys want, what games you're looking forward to, ask our opinions on stuff, and then we're going to be talking with you. If you're not a member, you can by all means stick around, hear all our answers, all of that stuff. But if you want to become one, now's the time.
Yep, now's the time. Thank you guys so much for watching the podcast, though, today. You know, I know you won't be able to type there, but we do really appreciate the support. This is episode number 8. We've been having a lot of fun. So we're, you know, about 2 months in, right? With episode 8, that's about 2 months. And, I think the viewership's been great. We're over 12,000 followers right now. And I mean, we're gonna get that silver play button. They better send us all one though. I want an RGH silver play button.
I agree.
Like-
I'll just put in my address and I'll just hold it for you guys. It's fine.
Okay.
Like all the money, sure.
Yeah. Perfect.
There's some weird thing with PayPal. It won't let me send it to you guys. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, I got some new Gucci socks though.
Okay.
Unrelated.
Okay. All right. So if you guys haven't become a member, there's a join button. There should be one just below the stream. Depends if you're on mobile and stuff, but there should
Josh
be a
is
join
gonna
button.
post a link. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll post the link. And then you can click that link, and that's easy peasy. Members only. Go. Thank you. So, any questions from our epic gamers in the chat?
Such as all the new members, like.
Yeah, I was trying to find that link.
This is only
but-
professional.
Oh, whoa! You guys are popping off here. We got Horizon Beats in gaming with a new membership. Christopher Sharp with a 50 bomb. Rick,
Oh, Christopher Sharp funding everything. I'm telling
that
you.
man.
he's funding my
So hot.
Genshin addiction.
my
Incredible. Rick with the $2 Vanguard finally made a dent in that bottle. Oh, that's his third bottle. He has a new one every
yeah,
episode.
oh my god.
Y'all try to make me look like a drunkard.
He's stumbling
I
around.
I nurse one glass for like an hour straight. I was like, he's hammered.
I nurse one bottle, he means.
He nurses one glass an hour.
Yeah, one glass. Yeah, exactly.
Christopher Sharp with another 50 bomb. Mamon with a $5 no Twitch drama stream here. Oh yeah, we're stuck here on YouTube. You guys are stuck with us. KJ Hovey with a membership. Rick with another
Legend.
$2. This is your $2. Much love from Rick. Kiwi with a new membership. Christopher Sharp with another 20 bomb. Ben Swan, love your faces. Even Rick Kackis with a $20. And holy cow, the memberships are flooding in. Look at this.
Look at those.
We got
It's so hot.
We got French Sosa, Aaron Cruz, Rich Howman, Michael Rico Salteres. I hope I said that right. I pray I did. Darsto. Hey, Darsto, what's going on? I saw it in stream the other day. John Evans, Julio Vega, and Richie Chan. Thank you guys so much. We just popped off with members. Now let's get to the content. What are we talking about? Let's see.
Racco makes a good point where he's like, since they're like a Chinese company, they might not kind of understand, or they may be doing differently about how the Asian streaming market works compared to the Western market, and we're more used to the Epic Games and Activision stuff.
Oh.
Possibly.
I see. I disagree. I think from what I've seen, China should know more about influencer value than arguably anybody across the globe. Like the Asian scene, they leverage influencers in some incredible ways. From what I've seen, I don't know. I wouldn't be willing to extend some grace in that capacity to them.
Yeah, they're just being greedy. Tash is funding so many vacations for those guys. Like they can give them a damn creator code for God's sakes. Come on.
Like, again, if they give you or had the potential to get like all the maxed out characters so that like I could make reviews, awesome. But I know they're not going to do that. It's going to be like a little piddly amount. Like, it is so prohibitively expensive to
Get a new character.
To get new characters, and then you get the new character, but you can't even level it up. And I said it in my video today, and actually it's getting pretty bombed with dislikes because I said, you know, like, I literally, if I want to make videos like this, I need like a sponsorship from Genshin. but I didn't even mean money. I just need I need them to give me the experience books so I can even show their
Right,
character.
that's right.
Like, and the thing is with the resin system, we're talking hours upon hours, but days. I literally can't grind enough in a day to level the character up. I had to prep for like 3 days so that I could level this Klee character up that I just got. And it's like, what the, like, that's awful. It's awful. I'm trying to show off this new character, promote this new character, and it's like, you just spent $200 getting that character? Too bad you can't use it. Too bad it's the worst character on your team because you literally don't have the resources to level it. That's a joke.
Right.
It's awful.
Especially since, because correct me if I'm wrong, in Genshin, once you get up in higher world tiers to fight higher level guys, you can't go back down, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. So your characters are useless. Like
Yeah,
you're
if you get a
fighting
new
level
character, you get 'em at
80
level
enemies.
1.
Yeah, yeah. They won't get one hit. Even if you get them to level like 50, they get one hit. So it's like
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, dude.
right. So you
Like,
get a new
what?
Yeah,
character
that's rough.
and you got to max it. And it's like, okay, if a new character's coming out, I need to prep because you can't even farm the materials every day. Like the weapon ascension materials rotate each day, and so do the character talent and the like there's so many layers where it's like, okay, on Monday I gotta farm this, Thursday I gotta farm this, Friday I gotta farm this, then the character comes out. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
It's
Hey,
one of
Wendler,
those-
I see you, by the way. Thanks for becoming a real gamer, brother.
Yay,
Appreciate that, man.
thank you so much.
And like, it's funny how there's like such obvious problems. Like, again, just the fact that you're up in a higher world tier. If you get a new character, you get him at the lowest level, so you got to spend so much resources to get him up there. Like, it's such an obvious problem. But yeah, if you talk about it, you get disliked by all these like Genshin fans. It's like, we're trying to make the game better for you guys. Like, what?
We're
Right.
trying to
Why you
help
hate-
you.
It's like, why?
I'm
It's
not
like that
trying
meme.
to rob you.
Yeah, it's the meme where it's like, why are you booing me? I'm right. Like, we're like, these are really obvious. And again, like,
Right.
dude, I've been playing so much Genshin. I'm not even making content on it. I'm just playing it in the background because it's genuinely a good game. But I can like, I've played enough games in my time. I can see these prohibitive walls and features that need to be fixed.
Yeah.
Someone else asked, what do we think of the new Destiny trailer that came out yesterday? The story trailer.
I was excited about it.
It looks
I thought cinematics look good. It's good to see Aramis and seeing her rile up her crew and seeing them. Were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say it's funny. She's like riling up a bunch of like dregs and vandals. I think like Glad made a joke where he's like, "Dude, one Nova bomb, I'm clearing that room." Like that's your big threat. Like, okay, we'll see what happens, baby.
Yeah, well, but who knows? Dregs and Vandals when they get their hands on stasis, when they get their hands on darkness abilities. I don't know. We don't know.
True, but so are
So-
we.
Fair. Yeah, like what
and
if
that's my question. I'm interested. What's the process? What's the story process look like for us to access those abilities? What do we have to go through to get those? That's what I'm most interested in at this point.
you got to make out with Eris Morn? Creepy, dripping eyes and all. Well, she's
Oh,
got
I'm
the
in.
power. She got the power.
Dude,
I'd do
I
worse
won-
things. You know what I'm saying, Eris Morn?
oh my.
Richard, thank you so much for becoming a real gamer. We do genuinely appreciate you. We have a recurring question we get almost every week. Do we have any plans on having another guest on the show? Currently, no, we don't. And actually, I think we have like a full 3-minute breakdown answer to that question 2 episodes ago. I want to say that's on episode 6 during this section of it. So feel free to go revisit that. The short answer is that no, we feel like we have an okay system going on here. And adding more voices isn't necessarily always a good thing. Yeah.
And
My
also,
guess-
we
go ahead.
want you to fall in love with the podcast because of us. We don't want all the views to come because we have like someone else on. We want you to understand that like this is the RGH show. This is the product that you're getting. We hope that you really enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, we can get rid of Kackis, like for sure. We will do what it takes. But
Who's on the chopping block next week, RGH?
Mikey,
Who
why'd
would
you say
interrupt you
that?
guys if you got rid of me, bro? Come on.
Hey, maybe we'd
Come
actually
on.
get a conversation done. Oh
Dude,
my
I
god.
prevent you from saying dumb stuff. I'm the only reason preventing us from getting canceled. I interrupt you before True Vanguard.
It didn't work on episode 6.
Drunkenly
Got
rambles.
demonetized.
Yeah.
That was
True.
5.
It's because Tash
I think that was
swore
me.
at the very beginning.
I was
Yeah.
dropping
Yo, that's
bombs.
fine.
I'm like, what the? This guy's and he did like I'm just
Yeah.
going in.
I made a joke that was
Oh.
funny. I was like, is the real reason Beyond Light got delayed because they have to make like 45 trailers? Because like honestly, there has been so many. There's like the reveal trailer, gameplay trailer, Xbox trailer, a Europa trailer, the weapons and gear trailer, the story trailer. It's like, oh, the trailer department is going ham, dude.
When are you gonna do some trailers on like some more exotic showcase? I want to see.
Well, they did a weapons and gear trailer.
Aquamoon.
I don't. I hope that's it, dude. I don't want to see more. I don't want to see more.
Actually, yeah, I want to be surprised a little bit.
I have a
I wanna
question
be-
I want to answer.
Go for it.
Someone asked me what my 3 favorite whiskeys are.
Okay, yep. Well,
No.
we know
So-
this one.
Can we say before you? I will. I'm not interrupting. Before you start,
I'm
we're
not
still-
interrupting.
we
He
are
says
still-
that he interrupts me.
But you didn't start yet.
Oh my God.
Before you start, and this is going to be a good answer and probably an informative answer. We want to put it out there. We're still looking for sponsorships and especially products from breweries and from distilleries. We are open to sponsorships from those things. All right, now go ahead, TV.
My
but-
my top 3 would have to be Whistle Pig 15 year. That's up there, number 1. Okay. The number 2 would be Cowalila, which is a single malt scotch from the island of Islay off of the west coast of Scotland. And the number 3 is a Midwinter Nights Dram. Those are your top 3.
That sounds
I
cool.
like-
those up.
I like the grapefruit White Claw.
I like a Shirley Temple.
It is sometimes I am just blown away by the fact that you are not a virgin. Like it just blows me away.
Which one?
What
Wait,
are
who are you talking?
addressing?
Uh-huh.
He's not even gonna say. He's just gonna keep it vague like
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh! This is why I
Um,
interrupt you, dude.
Okay, I have a question. I have a question. So, could you get that same one? Because you said that's a 15 year, the Whistle Pig. Could you
Uh-huh.
get that in like a 10 or like a 5? And
You
would
get
you
it 10, 12, and 15.
would you notice a
start-
difference
start-
between a 10?
Yes,
Really? And like
you
what
should.
what kind of
Okay,
difference?
you wouldn't. Tash would not. I'm
like because
telling you,
it's going to
dude.
be the
Honestly,
barrel
here's
longer,
the best.
right?
Honestly, if you really want to start comparing whiskeys, what you really ought to do is never have one by itself. Just do like a sip, pour a sip of one and a sip of another one, and even a sip of a third one. So it's not even like cumulatively one full glass. And take sips side by side, and then you'll start to understand flavor profiles. Because some of the descriptive words out there in whiskey terminology, if someone started to describe the flavor to you, it would mean nothing to you. Those words mean nothing to you.
Right.
Mm.
So
It's
you-
peaty and mossy.
Yeah, oh,
I
that's
don't-
so peaty.
know.
Yeah. You
No.
won't have a clue what that means. So just start drinking a couple of them side by side in small quantities and start to really understand flavor profiles.
Mm.
I
Now,
would never go straight for a 15-year Whistle Pig if you don't know flavor profiles, because
Would you
you're like,
recommend-
oh, I spent $250 on this bottle.
would you recommend something I often do is I'll have a nice little glass of whiskey, but I'll have it in a really small glass that fits about 1 ounce or 2 ounces. And then I'll usually have it all in one gulp and then absolutely smash a White Claw, rip it open with some keys and, and chug that. And is that a good for like tasting the essence?
That sounds like
of the
doing
whiskey?
shots. That sounds like getting blackout and
Well,
getting lost in Miami or something. Like I don't know.
that's just like how I enjoy experiencing rum. Or
See, I like to
wait, wrong
order.
one.
I like to
Whiskey.
order a pina colada with extra pineapple, and I like to sip on it, and I just like the straw and an
Is there-
umbrella. Maybe looks
That's actually
good.
true. If Tash tastes the alcohol, he doesn't like it. He's like, it's trash. It's bad.
What is
If I even-
that?
If I even
I don't like
ta-
it.
If I even taste alcohol, it's too much for him.
Oh, Christopher Sharp just bought us a bottle of whiskey. $50 donation and the Optimus Prime sticker. I love it.
Let's go, baby.
And then we got Richard with a $5, D Mendez with a $5, and Ben Swan.
D, I see you, brother.
Wow, we like doubled in members today. Like seriously, this is
You
probably,
guys are so hot.
yeah,
to
this
me.
is one of
You
the
guys-
biggest days in memberships we've had.
They're all finding out the secrets of good whiskey because of True Vanguard.
Yep. Someone said any RuneScape 3 content anytime soon.
No.
Where was that? Let me go back up. Oh, Kiwi. Any RuneScape 3 content? Probably not. It's too late to cover it. As for the new skill, I haven't played much of the new skill. Haven't had time. I've been grinding Genshin and all that stuff. But I still
Well,
talk
that's a
about
good
it.
question.
I still talk
Someone
about
has.
But
John Evans had a really good question
Uh-huh.
in chat. He said, "If you guys weren't YouTubers, what would you do for a job?"
I don't know. I'd have to redesign my whole life, dude. I don't. Probably just work in some marketing firm, hating my life. I don't know.
I'd have to go outside.
Yeah, ew.
I mean, that's what I was going to school for, is marketing. Would I find a good job in marketing? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, that's the thing, is that's what I was going to school for, but is that what I'm passionate about, really? I don't fully.
Right.
I don't know.
I'd still be a pastor.
Yeah. I mean, I worked up north. I dug holes for a while. I was in sales. I did
just dig holes in the ground.
I was digging holes, like, yeah, and putting stuff in it. But I did like
What?
I did sales, and I liked sales a lot. I feel like
You know
that's
that
kind of
movie
my personal-
Holes with Shia LaBeouf? It's actually based after
That's my
Tash's
life.
early years. Yeah, that's
Well, no,
his life, bro.
I was in the oil
True
sands
story.
and digging holes. Hockey coach? Actually, that'd be fun. I coach my son's hockey team now, and that's been
Great.
great experience. And you said
Tag's working-
you'd just still be a pastor?
Yeah, that's what I was doing before YouTubing. I was working as a pastor. I did that for about 5 years. It was really good work. I always get that people are like, "Wow, do you hate the church? Is that why you left?" It's like, no, that's not why I left. I left
It's like
because
stomping on kids in PvP more.
I left. What the honest truth is, that is a really demanding lifestyle, whether you're a person of faith or not. Like you have to respect that is a really demanding lifestyle. It is not a 40-hour-a-week job. I mean, there were nights where I'd sit down to dinner. You know, my wife was working full time. I'd sit down to dinner with my wife and my son. We only had one kid at the time. It's like, man, just want to just sit down, have dinner, relax, talk about our days. And my phone goes off, and there's something that really happening. People who are like, Ryan, can you come over? My daughter is she's a wreck, and she's talking about hurting herself. You know, I don't know. She just needs someone to talk to. And it's like, you can't be like, nah, I'm having dinner. Bye. You know what I mean? Like, you just, okay, I gotta go. It's a really demanding lifestyle. And on top of that, unfortunately, in America right now, the education system for pastors can be pretty busted if you don't go to the right spot. Like, for example, I ended up going to a university. 18 years old, you're full of passion, and no one's really telling you, hey, this might not be smart. No one's telling you that. You're like, oh, I'm just going to go to this school, learn how to be a pastor, and then you come out of it 6 figures in debt, and they send you into a field where you're going to make $12,000 a year entry level. Yeah, we're freaking right. They kind of prey on you. Some places, not all places.
Unless you're like the mega church where they're like, call in and we take Bitcoin and PayPal.
God wants to heal your cancer. You just go ahead. You drop it. You go ahead and donate $2,000 right now.
And then I'll go like this to you.
Scummy.
Heal.
And then you spend all the money on wishes for Genshin.
That's right.
That cures me. I had arthritis last week. Now I don't. So figure it out.
Why?
Darsto, $50 donation. Got to keep finding this man's Genshin addiction.
Dude,
yes,
for real.
That one's for me. Let's go,
man. As someone who's trying to keep Genshin free to play, it is just like rough. Like, I don't even know when I'm gonna get the next character. Grinding those primo gems is so arduous.
Yeah,
it's so brutal.
Really,
it really is. And it's like, and it feels like the ways to get more wishes are to spend money in terms of like either the season's pass or other ways. And
think of grinding up all the bright dust to buy like an exotic in Destiny, and it's like, so that, you know, maybe it takes you a couple weeks. I don't know how much bright dust you can get in a week, but how much is a skin? 4,000 bright dust sometimes.
Yeah, a lot sometimes.
And it's like okay, so imagine that, but then Genshin, it's like, oh, the main gameplay, you have to grind just to get a character potentially. Like it's so crazy. And
and then
it's a 0.6% chance to get the characters, the 5-star characters. It's like, and you start running out of ways to get those gems as you play. So it's like after your first couple characters, it's like, well, now the first 30 wishes, 40 wishes it took you this time, triple it, and then 10 times it down the road. Where when you get to the end game like me, you better get here. I found out how to get some gems. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh man, it's rough. Yeah, we already talked about it, but I really hope they change things because it's a fun game at the core, and it's just so accessible. Like the reason it blew up is because it's free to play. I think that's the move going forward. It's like
Just gotta lean into that, yeah.
what if they just made like the next Call of Duty, maybe the one after this one, free to play, like just free to play. They already monetized the crap out of it with you could buy all the packs and stuff. I mean, if you look at Warzone's free to play. If you look at Warzone though, everyone's got the like skins and stuff from the store. Like everyone's the latest character and shooting you with the tracer rounds and all this stuff, and it has the death animations and the special animations for assassinations and stuff. Like they're already monetized the crap out of that. At what point the $60 model, or in case of the next gen $70 model, could just be like dying off.
I think if you're a AAA game and you've got that studio and you've got that brand recognition, it makes sense. Get as many people playing. 'Cause I'm sure there's people with Call of Duty, they just don't play because it's like, well, I'm not spending $70. They keep coming out with a new one. I don't want to spend it. But Warzone is free, so they do. And
it's not going away. They're just updating it
right
with Black Ops, which is another interesting thing.
Yeah.
What if games start going free to play and then having actual sponsors for the game? Like, what if Call of Duty is free to play, but you're running around and on your sleeve of your character it literally says Ford Motors, whatever, something like that,
Awesome.
I feel like certain games they can get away with, like sports games. It's like you already have advertisements on the side of an arena in a sports game, or like in if you're playing, NBA 2K, you already have the sponsorships sometimes. But you don't want it to be too intrusive, because the problem is like those sponsorships, I'm sure they'd be fine in a free to play game, but the problem is they keep putting them into like $60 games, and then people are really mad about it.
Right. It's like double dipping. They just keep double.
Yeah.
They're like, how much further can we push that audience's wallet? Like, how many more dollars can we get out of them?
I know.
Fortunately.
But then, like, when games with the polish of Genshin are coming out for free randomly out of nowhere, it's like, well, why would I spend money on not just like Call of Duty when there's so many other options, right? Yeah. And why wouldn't I just get Game Pass, $15 a month or $10 a month, and I get like 100, 200 games?
Yeah. No, exactly. It's the future. The future is getting people to fall in love with your game, and like low barrier to entry. Like they fall in love with your game, and you provide that service, and they want to spend that money. We saw it with Fortnite. They made $1 billion in a month on a Raven skin. Like, it's just, but the game, the product has to be so good, and indie devs can't really do that. AA, those studio sizes, they typically can't. They don't have the pull. Yeah. Even Fortnite. When Fortnite first launched, it was fun.
And they were like nearly bankrupt,
right? And it was like kind of a failing game. Like it was a little PvE game.
Oh,
it was fun.
A major failing game.
But it was. Then they're like, oh, let's just fucking make a BR and hope for the best. They Hail Married, and it took off.
It worked.
So,
and that's the thing we talked about this in the first. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, someone made the point, like, Genshin started as a phone game. Of course, there's gonna be like blockades and restrictions, but like, yeah, there doesn't need to be. Like, that is an outdated, stupid model, and Genshin could be flying even higher than it is now. Like, how many players reached the top and found these limitations? They're just gonna stop playing. It's like, you don't have, Fortnite was free to play. That was one of the big things. They didn't have to do that. Like, it's called innovation. Just because another site or just because another company does something, it doesn't mean it's the right way to do it.
Yeah, no one. Well, here's the thing: people don't leave your game because you gave them too much stuff and you're dissatisfied with it. That happens eventually. They get to a point where they're like, I can't get it any more powerful. But people are more likely to leave your game because they know they can get further, but there's something physically blocking them from going there. That's going to frustrate a gamer and make them want to leave. So if you want to earn more, people to play your game, you got to stop blocking them.
Yeah.
So early.
You got to let them progress.
And it's like with the Diablo devs and the Path of Exile devs, they talked about this as like, if you're so stingy with the loot because you're scared everyone's going to get everything, they're going to quit because they couldn't get what they wanted. And if they do get what they wanted, they had a great experience. And then if you bring out new content, they'll probably come back. If they leave angry, they never come back. If they leave satisfied and happy, there's a good chance, there's a great chance that you're going to have a lifelong customer. And so you got to build a product and you got to release a product that's fair and something that people can fall in love with. And then maybe they go, do you know what? I put in my 60 hours. I'm kind of bored of this. I'm going to move on. As soon as they say, by the way, Genshin update 5 point, like, bro,
Yeah, they're back in it, baby.
They
We're
are
coming back.
diving
Diablo.
back in. They're
Diablo
breaking up with their
had me.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
They want to play Genshin.
Diablo. Yeah, I know.
Dude,
Diablo had me because because there's the thing about Diablo is that they'll give you everything. I mean, for example, you look up a build, you say, oh, I want to get that build. You go, you target farm everything. Maybe it's not optimal. Maybe it doesn't have the greatest rules, but you got everything for that build. You got a functioning end game build. And now you're going out there, you're farming with the buds. You're going into specific dungeons and fighting certain bosses, and you're getting more drops, and you're checking it. Is this more optimal than the saber I already have? Am I going to swap this out? If not, what do? You say, well, it's still an acceptable role. I'm going to go put it on the marketplace and sell it to somebody. Or what we did, I had a crew that I ran with back in the day where we would go out there, we would farm set pieces and legendary drops that were highly sought after, and we were literally a charity. We'd go and we would just give them away to people in the marketplace.
Really?
While everyone's up here like, oh yeah, you got to pay like 1,200 currency on the website. We were over here like 5 for a god rolled saber. And, everyone starts jumping on it. We were just giving those things away.
Can I tell you a really interesting story about the Diablo marketplace?
Go ahead.
So this guy, he built a bot program because what he would do is he'd enter the stat parameters. So he'd pick one weapon's called Echoing Fury. It was like a mace, I believe. And he'd go Echoing Fury with DPS range of 1250 to 1300, and that's like a solid DPS. And they're like $1. Like it's like $1, $1.50 for something like that. When it's getting into 1500, that's when you got like the big boy ones that are $70. But he'd find the ones that are just like $1, and he would find on the marketplace with the bot people that accidentally went in the wrong one. So instead of putting in for $1, they put it in for 1 gold on accident in the wrong marketplace, and he'd insta buy them, and then he'd go back and sell them for like 50 cents or 30 cents because they'd insta sell.
Yeah.
And he built a bot, and he made hundreds of $1,000s on the Blizzard on the Blizzard thing because of people putting them in the wrong thing. But then the other thing is, you could sell gold essentially in that game too. He would do the opposite, and he'd say, okay, this item's selling for $1, but I could sell it for this much gold, and so the gold to dollar ratio on those stats is wrong. So I'm gonna buy it for $1. I'm gonna sell it for the gold, or I'm gonna sell it at a higher price. And he just marketed using a bot, looking at all the stats of all these items, thousands of items a day, and just 20 cents here, 30 cents here, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that
it's crazy.
Right there is why you can't have like an open market trading place in a game these days.
Because someone will abuse it. It'll get abused.
Yeah, think about that. There's a bot making decisions faster than a human being. So you put it in the wrong place. As soon as you see it's up for gold, you're like, crap, it's already sold. You're done, right? So it's like there's just stuff like that where people are making bots to do these things. You'll just never have any sort of integrity to that kind of system. So you just those kind of days I think are legitimately over because of stuff like that.
Probably, honestly. Christopher, thanks for another $50 donation, man. I really appreciate that.
And someone else, dude, D with the $50, Daharisto. He's like, I gotta keep. Oh, he was the guy who said I gotta fund Tash's Genshin addiction. Wow.
Yeah,
About
actually,
About that time,
I gotta get
about that time. Yeah, it's about that time. He's gotta go spend an entire vacation with your wife on Genshin Impact characters, dude. She's gonna see what you're spending, and she's gonna look up where she could have gone.
I already talked.
I mean?
I already talked to her. I already called my accountant. I was like, listen, is this a tax write-off? He's like, absolutely, don't worry about it. He's like, it's a publicity stunt to get more views, to get eyes on the stream. He's like, you're spending the money, you're documenting you spending the money, you're good. And I was like, okay, but you don't understand how many dollars. He's like, just you're okay. Wait, what?
Oh.
How much? Nani?
Exactly. All right, gamers. I think we're done for today, though.
Thank you so much. This was awesome. I'm
Genuinely love
Mtashed.
y'all.
I'm KackisHD.
I'm True. But did you have something to say?
No, I was pointing down.
I thought you were going to interrupt me there.
Oh,
I'm True Vanguard.
He's almost slurring his words now at the end of the podcast. He's sitting. He used to be
God.
standing. He starts standing and he's sitting.
Okay.
I could do jumping jacks in the background right now. If you wanted me
Okay,
to.
Well, we're gonna
Okay.
turn the stream off before that happens. We don't want to get
Get
too aroused.
Get an injury on stream, dude.
All right, thank you guys so much. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the dollars, and thanks for supporting us and our dream of becoming the best podcast ever.
Good night. y'all.
Okay, that's it. Good night. We're RGH every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're here.
We're gonna say this all night.
All
9
night.
p.m. Eastern, baby.
Hey.